This is a Thor News presentation. Thor News presents.
In the hills outside Los Angeles, also hit by wildfire, they're already bracing for another disaster, floods.
It's a silent killer. There's not any warning.
You might want to skip the salad this Thanksgiving, at least if it's made with romaine lettuce. The CDC is urging all Americans to toss theirs out, and they are serious. This is until they find out more about a new E. coli outbreak.
Traveling for Thanksgiving this year, you won't be alone. Looks good.
3 areas, though, we're going to keep an eye on. Soaking rain moving into Northern California in the morning will reach Southern California late in the day. There will be some rain along the coastal bend of Texas, which includes Corpus Christi, Victoria, and Houston. And Arctic air coming into the Northeast will produce some snow and snow showers, mostly from Interstate 80 in Pennsylvania on north, including the New York State Thruway.
But we will see some wet weather coming into these coastal areas in particular. That'll push its way down into California.
A lot of rain in the forecast.
The heaviest rain over the next few days is likely to be across northern parts of the state.
You can see flash flood watches are up for parts of Northern California. So
there's the risk of some flooding and some mudslides as well.
By tonight, moisture starts to move in. We'll see the brunt of it on Wednesday and then some more even Thursday and Friday.
So a massive change in the weather here.
Since November 8th, the Camp Fire has scorched through around 150,000 acres in the area, destroying more than 10,000 homes in the process, as many have lost everything. The Camp Fire is the deadliest and most destructive wildfire in California's history. Officials say it could be a few more weeks before it's fully contained.
Things have been escalating in their wild and wackiness all year, and there's still 5.5 weeks left in 2018, so there's no reason to think that things are going to calm down anytime soon. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a full-fledged alert for California. You have wave after wave after wave of rain coming into the central and northern parts of California. You have rain coming for all of California and the West Coast, including Oregon, Washington, and Canada. Good news is it will help with whatever fires are still going. The bad news is it's probably going to be a whole lot of rain over burn scar areas, which will cause some major and massive mudslides. And last year's mudslides were pretty horrific. One 70-year-old lady died. She got a text alert saying she had 20 minutes to get out of the house before 10 feet of mud was going to cover her, and she ended up dying. We're talking anywhere from 8 to 20 inches of rain over the next 2 weeks. Models vary on the amounts, but they all agree it's going to be a lot of rain. 99% of the time, they guess to the downside. So it's usually worse than what they even predict. And so it fires up on Wednesday the 21st, and it's going to go in some way, shape, or form for 2 weeks. It'll rain until about Saturday, then you'll get a little break, and it'll start back up again on Wednesday. It's a repeat and repeat pattern. And those are some heavy orange and red rain bands. And then, of course, pretty much everywhere else in the United States will get hit somewhere along the way. It's going to be like a fire hose, so please do what you can to be prepared. Now we're taking a look at the giant, freaky, mega mass rain bands that have been growing on our planet for the last few years. I've been doing what I can to track them for people, letting you guys know, hey, this is going to cause some major problems in some heavily populated areas. And now the crazy, super long rain bands trying to somehow make giant loops, which is really freaky and bizarre to me. You see them? You see that? Like giant eyes, a rain band, and they're staring at me. I might make jokes, but this shit is serious. If not handled properly, people will die. It is time for us all to come together as one American family. You might as even well pretend your government doesn't exist. And if they do, they're just trying to distract you from these wild earth weather changes. Yep. And then you got that giant storm moving over the Gulf of Mexico, over Florida, East Coast. Everybody's going to be getting in on this stormy and wet action. This is the GFS. Now let's go to the GFS. We'll do a forecast on holiday weather leading up Thanksgiving later today. But for now, I wanted to get the word out in advance as soon as possible about the increasing severity of the rains, landslides, and mudslides probably coming to the burn scars in California, which will create probably loss of lives, property damage, and major infrastructure impediments. Did that almost even look like a tropical depression or a low coming in and smacking California? You know, as weird as it's been, almost anything's on the table, man. And that does not look good at all. A giant tomahawk, precipitation, moisture, and rain, bunch of flying V's headed to areas that do not need it. If you are near those areas, maybe it's a good time to head east and spend the holidays with a friend that is not in California. Now we're going to take a look over the pond and flip a biscuit to our European and African friends. It looks like Spain and Europe will be getting more wetness and wild weather as it just moves in waves across the planets. And what it is doing right now, I don't even know. Like, that is so crazy. That is the craziest shit I've ever seen on these things. Look at these rain band sizes and the shapes. This is why I left my super amazing job, being paid well, working with amazing people, doing audio-visual work for lawyers, to do this full-time. Then he would be here. We need to get ready. Well, we're a little late, but it's never too late. The best time to start working together and getting prepared for these changes that are coming is now. I think I'm gonna have to reevaluate everything at the end of the year. This is just wild. Yeah. And the minute you start going, you know what? You're right. This is wild. You're gonna have like 18 people in your face screaming climate change. Like somehow it helps anything. And look at these patterns, man. These reoccurring shapes we see again and again and again. Carbon is not doing that. Sorry. Truth. Earth weather is a very dynamic process. You got the sun, you got the auroras, volcanoes, pressure. You got the other planets in the solar system, all now being on the same side almost, which causes major fluctuations in the planetary orbital angular momentum, which put extra stress on the planet and the sun. The planets and the sun. Yeah, those dots look bad. I don't like those dots at all. I'm no liking you dotties. I don't like it either here. Pep time. What kind of pie do you like? We can all agree we like pie, right? Somebody's about to like, no, I hate pie. Well, dude, that's just nuts. That is so much water. That is gravity waves, gravitational waves, maybe a mix of both. It was a high-end science joke. I hope you appreciated it. Yeah, either we can work together or I recommend enjoying last few days, weeks, months. Civilization is standing. God, that's crazy. It's almost like a perfect circle or a half circle. Maybe it's a lucky horseshoe. All right, Europe, everybody. We are watching the giant alien creature ram his head right into Spain. Yesterday, we had a 5.1 earthquake in California, and then they changed it to like 10 miles south to Mexico and a 4.8. Make of it what you will. We're still watching for earthquake activity along the west coast of the United States because Guatemala's Fuego volcano erupted again with extremely dangerous 1300-degree pyroclast flow, and Mexico's Popocatépetl volcano erupted again. So that might have only been ash, but still, I don't remember a time where both of those volcanoes were active on the same day. Okay, say some prayers or do what you do. I want you to have Thanksgiving, stay safe, and plan everything out properly. Oh shit, I've still got one more to go. Maybe I need to start doing makeup tutorials. The weather's always a downer, so no girl wants to date a downer. Start doing makeup tutorials. Now we're looking at just the regular GFS. This is so crazy. Just mega giant super rain bands of V or whatever letter you see. That is, I don't even know. Whoa, look at how it kicks out. A couple days after Thanksgiving, punches New York in the face with a bunch of wetness and wind, I imagine. And then there's that giant, nasty, looks super floody by the Gulf of Mexico, Texas, Louisiana. In Spain, it's going to start picking on you for some reason. It's been flooding in Spain, and the point that the moisture's headed towards is definitely headed south and east. We'll keep tracking it as long as we can. All right, everybody, stay cool. And I love you.
Hello, Angel.
You know I'll be there when you need me. I don't know if you know this. THORNEWS is for winners, and that's why you're here. So stick around.
Hit the button, baby.
Wave after wave after wave.
I just want what Newton wants. To reinforce stability and harmony in the civic world. Wouldn't that be nice?
The weather is weird, that is perfectly clear, and there's something I need you to know. God and the universe love you more than you could ever know.